All right, YouTube. I got to be quick about this. I just need to see that it's working. I will say right at the beginning, I have seen that there are 2 people, waiting to get into the stream. So shout out. That's awesome. But yes, today is a very big day. Today is, I guess season 2 of me doing tier lists. Season 1 was all about talking about as many Warframes as I could. I had to do an honorable mentions because I didn't talk about all the Warframes, but weapons are going to be a lot different. And of course, we're starting out with probably the most important one, the most critical one to talk about right off the bat, I would say, is the meta primary tier list. Yes, of course. I'm going to shoot for about a 10-minute tier list because you can burn through weapons a lot faster than Warframes. And basically a meta primary, meta standing for most effective tactic available, at least how I know it. Maybe there's another definition, which would be weird. But anyway, it's basically an easy mode button. You get in, you load up with the Kuva Zarr, and you don't really have to worry about anything. You get in, you load up with pretty much any of these weapons, and it's like as long as you have a decent build and you know how to survive and you're moving fast enough, you can pretty much survive. Like, the whole point is, when I'm going into difficult content, I'm also going to be using things like glaives. Like, I'm going to be using a lot of content a lot of weapons and gear that's really strong. So without further ado, let's just get into it with Kuva Zarr, number 1 on the list. They'll always be number 1 on the list. You get the AoE, you get the bomblets, you get the round reloaded, so you can reload it one at a time, so you can keep it topped off at all times. That's going to save on ammo. It's going to save you, I think you only get 1 ammo per ammo pickup, so that's why that's there. And then, of course, the bomblets are going to multiply your 100 munitions, along with just having a ton of damage. And it is a Kuva weapon, so you get free toxin damage. And of course, when you use 100 munition plus free toxin damage, you're saving a mod slot, which is something that I will always love, and you know that I always stand that. So yeah, let's get right into it. I mean, that's number 1 on the list. AoE with more AoEs, like, pretty easy to understand. Number 2 on the list, Tenet Envoy. Tenet Envoy, just a simple AoE, pretty big radius. I think it's the standard, like, large radius, which is like 7 or 8 meters. But you get 8 rounds in the mag. You reload the gun when it's in your holster, so you swap to the glaive for like a couple seconds, and you'll have full ammo on the Tenet Envoy again. So very, very useful, very easy to spam. The one trade-off is that you can't zoom in, because when you zoom in, it gets wire guided, so you have to actually, like, just run around, jump in the air, and just shoot. No aim, no anything. You don't really need to aim, but it's this very weird, very fun gameplay. Honestly, 1 and 2 interchangeable. They're very weird. They're very fun. A lot of AoE, a lot of damage. Like, 100 munitions is just such an easy setup that it's like, come on, folks, too easy. What else are we talking about? I mean, we're moving on to number 3 on the list. Yeah, like having 2 spammable AoEs, number 1 and number 2, very easy. Number 3 on the list, Ignis Wraith. I put Mastery Rank 9 here. I really just put this because I found that it's like, oh, you could actually get this pretty low. A lot of these guys, like any of the primes, any of the Tenet stuff, I'm pretty sure you need pretty late in the game. But, also the Torid Incarnon, like, getting Incarnons means doing Steel Path circuits, which means unlocking Steel Path, unlocking circuits, unlocking Incarnons from the Zarrman. So it's a lot of stuff. So technically Incarnons you might be able to get earlier, but I would say that would be a little bit I don't know. Anyway, Ignis Wraith, just a fire beam weapon, big area, that's about it. You apply a lot of slash procs, you get viral, you get heat, that's about it. I mean, pretty easy. Number 4 on the list, Amprex. Very similar. It does have the chain beam effect, but it is electricity damage, so it's a little bit worse in terms of DPS. I love fire viral. You guys know that. Basically what it means is Amprex will kill more enemies, but it'll be a little bit weaker overall. But it does have better stats. It has more crit stats. It deals, I would say, more damage overall, but it's not fire damage, so it kind of sucks a little bit. Yeah, like, it's nice to have some beam weapons up at the top, but kind of these top 4 weapons are kind of a good showing of just like, oh yeah, pretty much all these weapons are going to be either AoE or some kind of funky beam weapon. Like Ignis Wraith just has a big area. It just hits a lot of enemies. That's kind of its gimmick. And the Amprex, the gimmick is it chains a lot of enemies. So it's very similar, you know, good for crowds. And then eventually when a boss spawns, when a Thrax or an Acolyte spawns, you can just look at it and then it dies. Okay. Number 5 on the list, Kuva Bramma. Too easy. Explosive bow. You're pretty much always picking up enough ammo because it's one ammo at a time, so it doesn't really matter what kind of ammo you get. You just will always, you know, as long as you're killing multiple enemies with a bullet, you should be okay. So don't worry about that. It is only 5 shots, so that's kind of the thing is you should pretty much still be able to spam it at all times because you're easily, like if you're using the whole point of like these kinds of weapons is you don't actually need to be shooting all the time. Like it's kind of more effective for you to wait for the enemies to like bunch up and then get a good shot that deletes, you know, 10 enemies at once, and then it's a 10-to-1 bullet ratio. But yeah, 5 ammo. That's, you know, it's number 5 on the list, you know, still the top of the list, but you know, still pretty decent. Acceltra Prime, a little bit weird. Like it doesn't keep up as well as some of these other, you know, big damage, big AoE, but Acceltra Prime is still really fun. Like the Prime has great stats. It's over 100% crit chance. You can slow it down with critical delay. That doesn't really matter. But yeah, for the most part, what you're talking about is just, I mean, it's fun, but it burns a lot of ammo. You got to use it pretty efficiently. It does kind of slow down a little bit. Like it's not super crazy, but it still hits hard. It's really fun. It's really crazy, especially like with any of these, there's a little asterisk. Like I had to remove a couple weapons that I realized like you can't really use without a Riven. Like it doesn't really work properly without a Riven. So what you're really talking about is like a lot of these weapons are just like, hey, if you get a Riven for any of these weapons, that is now your main weapon. And like a lot of these is like, yeah, to get Incarnon is like a grind in and of itself. And once you can get the proper Incarnon, you're basically in the late game anyway. So it's like, you kind of should already have a weapon. Like that's the whole point, is like, when you get down to like the Tombfinger and the Vermisplicer, like those are master rank 0. Like, but you just have to do you have to do an entire syndicate. You have to do all of Demos, or you have to do all of Fortuna. But yeah, like Acceltra Prime is really high master rank. Anyway, that's Acceltra Prime number 6 on the list. Number 7 on the list, the only non-AoE, non-beam weapon is Tenet Arca Plasmor with the infinite punch through. Just my favorite new like flashy mechanic of late. Like Nadaruk, Cinta, Tenet Arca Plasmor. Like Tenet Arca Plasmor is the most criminal example of this. Like it is absurd. It's so much fun to use. You'll just love it. You'll be like in love instantly. It's so awesome. But yeah, I mean, but it's still just not as good as these monsters up at the top. Anyway, you get the idea. Like as you move down, it's like I still love all of these weapons. They're still meta. They're still broken as fuck. They're still all like Jesus Christ. Like oh my, like every time I play these weapons, I'm like, God, I love this game so much. That's what it's all about. And you know what, folks? I'll say it. I have a Riven for every single one of these. I'll say it. All right, folks. That's the whole point. Like, that's where the game is perfect. That's where it's perfect. So do not even sweat. You're gonna see some fucking power fantasy shit with all these weapons. Anyway, but that's number 7 on the list. Tenet Arca Plasmor. You click and everything behind you click an enemy and everything behind that enemy also dies. That's basically it. Number 8 on the list. Torid Incarnon. A really fun choice to have an Incarnon at number 8, you know, halfway up the list. But yeah, the normal form is good. The Incarnon is better. You are spamming back and forth quite a lot. It is a little annoying to go, you know, like normal form, Incarnon, like back and forth. Like it burns through ammo in the Incarnon so much, but it also just deals so much damage in that form that I'm just like, I'm just always blown away. Anyway, that's Torid Incarnon. It's just like they love a Riven. So good. So broken. I mean, it really changes Incarnon for me. Like it's so different. I ranked it really low on the Incarnon list, but now I'm like, dude, this thing is so good. Anyway, number 9 on the list, Latron Incarnon. more of a standard Incarnon where you essentially need it to be in the Incarnon form at all times. But once you have it in that form, you get 40 shots. You get a bouncing projectile. So the whole point of putting it on this list is that the bouncing projectile allows you to get multi-hits, which is like, multi-hits is just like, God, I love it. Shout out Lenny for following on TikTok at the 10-minute mark. That's awesome. Latron Incarnon though, like, guys, it's still top 10. Like, relax, still top 10. Okay. We can all agree to that. It's still very good. But compared to just being able to spam your entire clip with the Kuva Zarr or with the Tenet Envoy, like, you get what I mean, folks. Like, when I rank the Incarnons in and of themselves, I'm like, oh, the Latron Incarnon is so good. But then when you put it with the big boys, like the actual meta weapons, you're like, yeah, the first Incarnon shows up at number 8 on the list, because it's just, you're still having to swap forms. Like, yes, granted, the Torid like kind of breaks the game in terms of damage with this weird little cloud of like just insane amounts of status, like damage per second. Like, it just gives these damage over time effects that are just criminal. Anyway, Latron Incarnon. Bouncing bullets are better than normal bullets. That's kind of all I have to say, and that's why you'll see Strun and all these other Incarnons way at the bottom. Number 10 on the list, Tombfinger. Good to have this one specifically in the top 10 because, yes, it is a Fortuna kit gun. So Fortuna kit guns necessitate you being rank 4 in Fortuna to actually build the right kit gun. So it sucks ass. I'll say that. It sucks. But if you can get it, once you can get it, that's my goal. When I'm doing the speedrunning the new War series, that's my goal right now, is getting the Tombfinger primary. Because once I get that, I can still rank up other weapons and get to master rank 4. And then once I'm master rank 4, then I can get the Zorus, which is game breaking. Loses potential and steel path. Yeah, I think for the most part, what I found is that Ignis Wraith just has stacks so much damage, like fire, slash, and then obviously just having built-in viral, that it's like, in most situations when I need like a meta weapon, this is what I'm doing. But I don't also play really high level stuff. What Warframe is at? That's Trinity. But yeah, that's Tombfinger, number 10 on the list. It's just an AoE. It's just an AoE. It just explodes and you get some 100 munitions. It's pretty savage. Shout out. Would that be Amudo? Is that what that V means? Shout out Amudo for following. I don't know if that's how you say it. Also shout out Grenocide for giving the Ignis Wraith comment, and also Shown Solo Official for saying what Warframe is at. Anyway, number 11 on the list, Vermisplicer. Chain Beam. You get some little bit of slash damage. You're just getting, I guess, free toxin damage, so you kind of end up with a lot of toxin damage. How do you get the crown? I bought that crown from the 10-year anniversary. But you can get crowns. I don't know where you can get the current crown. I think you can get one from the Cavia or something. I don't know. Yeah, shout out Josh Nickmeyer for commenting that. Vermisplicer, what are you talking about? Chain Beam, that's it. Chain Beam, you get a little bit of toxin damage. What else is there? That's pretty much it, folks. Is it easy? No. Well, is it easy? Yes. Excuse me. I don't know what I'm saying, but what you're really talking about is you just click. The nice thing is that you do have infinite ammo with the PAX charge, but that also means that you just need all of the Demos parts, the max, max magazine capacity, max fire rate, or max beam length, I guess. I mean, you could change that. I think that would actually be a better choice to put the splat in there or something, but yeah, pretty easy. Anyway, number 12 on the list. We are at 15 minutes. We're slowed down a little bit. Kuva Tonkor. I don't know. I just like it. You just shoot a lot. Like, when you use Primary Merciless, you can just shoot a lot. You just are able to shoot a bunch of grenades, and I love it. Like, I've kept it on this list. I was like, when I was redoing the list, I was like, but I still kept it. I was like, yeah, number 12 on the list is kind of appropriate, but yeah, I wanted to add some Incarnons on there. So it's good to still have Kuva Tonkor, which is just shoot, reload a lot. You just do it. Excuse me, I just bumped the whole. You just do that a lot. You just, it's a lot of just, and then you don't need to actually get ammo all the time because you get 3 bullets instead of 1. So it's pretty good. But yeah, that's Kuva Tonkor, just an AoE. You just spam it a lot. That's really fun and easy. Number 13 on the list, Phantasma Prime. Kind of like a shotgun beam that just deals a fuck ton of damage. It's very easy. You'll see it. It's another one that like loves a Riven, destroys everything. I want to say Granite said I'm mad at Warframe at the moment. I cannot get tome mods. Game is broken. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just bought all the tome mods. Opinion on Trumna, it's been my go-to. Oh, Trumna is savage. Trumna is insanely high on my usage list. But it is just a full auto with a big AoE. So it's like, I don't know. I never really found myself using it as much as something with like a large AoE or like an easy mode button, basically. Anyway, that's 13 on the list, Phantasma. What you're really talking about is shotgun beam, spray everything, deal fire damage. It's a shotgun. Very easy. Very fun. Number 14 on the list, Strun Incarnon. Once again, another one where you just shoot them in the head. But the thing is, with the pellet and the shotgun, you have to kind of shoot an Eximus in the head, and then you'll full charge it. Otherwise, you might need to shoot like 25 dudes, like literally one pellet each. One pellet each. Matt Elkin says Seto. I don't know. I never really got down with Seto. I don't know. I have this insanely funky build on Seto. I love playing Seto on any kind of like Arcane Avenger, like any kind of tank frame, excuse me. But yeah, Strun Incarnon, I'm pretty sure with my Riven I have like 200%. It's insane amounts of crit chance. It's just an AoE. It has fire damage. It's very good. It's very easy to use. It's pretty savage, honestly. But yeah, you're going to notice, with all the Incarnons, it's like, at this point, yeah, you don't want it to be out of Incarnon form. Burston is very cool. It's kind of like a funky beam. It's a beam. It's a full auto rifle with an AoE, so it's very, very cool. But what I've been loving it for is I've been using it in Disruption. And then, like, you have the Necromech demolishers. And you're just deleting them with the burst. Like, I'm just clicking them and they're just dying. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, what am I doing different? Of course I'm using Sarin, so I'm getting roar and toxin damage. So I'm just like, it is criminal. Oh my God. Anyway, Burston I've been loving, but still number 15 on the list. The second to the bottom. And number 16 on the list, Boar Incarnon. I do love it though. So it's a chain beam once again. Beam doesn't really do it justice. I should be putting Funky Beam, but Funky Beam looks stupid on the tier list. So you guys know it as Funky Beam, but on the list it says Beam. Chain Beam, I think it's fire damage. I mean, all the Incarnons so far are fire damage, so I don't see why it wouldn't be, but yeah, it is just criminal. Anyway, that's the tier list. 16 weapons, 18 minutes, pretty slow. I did not stick to my time. That's an L for me. I want to see comments about it. Anyway, we're gonna have to speed run through these builds, but they're very easy. I'll show you the mods, and then we'll talk about the stats. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. 36% viral from the Valence bonus is pretty nice. So let's come over here to this main build. Basic gist of it: Prime Cryo rounds gives you a fuck ton of damage on Hunter munitions. Like, the more damage you deal, the more the slash proc is. 36% toxin damage, free toxin. So you can see I don't have a toxin mod in there. I'm just using Hammer Shot for built-in crit chance or crit damage. But the main thing, radial damage 15,000, crit chance 75%. And a 7 times multiplier. Pretty good overall. I mean, pretty easy to use. Very simple build, but you're going to notice this is very similar to a lot of builds. Vigilante Armaments is a great choice. Multiplying that multi-shot is super fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, rifle ammo mutation, you're going to notice, what's this? There we go. Ammo from pickups 1. So as long as you have ammo mutation, that's all you really need. So that's pretty much it. It's got a fun little reload mechanic. It's a fun gimmick. Anyway, let's look at the Riven. Let's look at this Riven. Multi-shot magazine capacity, critical damage. So this is just in place of whatchamacallit, Hammer Shot. So free slot open. You can put whatever Riven you want. Critical damage and multi-shot is pretty savage. It's obviously low stats, so it's kind of but it's still fun. It's good to have a Riven if you get it. Why not just keep it? Anyway, that's the build. Let's get out of here. Number 2 on the list, Tenet Envoy. Of course, pretty much an identical build. I'm going to come over here and do this. Valence bonus 29% toxin. So of course, literally the exact same build, except now I'm using prime sniper ammo mutation. Because when I go to the magazine, ammo from pickups is 4. So that's the gimmick. You got 8 shots in the mag, and you want as much ammo as you can get. You're an ammo hog. You're a little pig for ammo. I'm going to come down here. We're going to look at the stats. 13,000. All viral damage. Pretty cool. I mean, all viral damage is kind of weird, but whatever. I mean, it's just all damage. That's all you care about is damage with 100 munitions. 84% crit, 7.3. I mean, it's just like standard stats at this point. It's kind of just all that you need. Obviously, critical delay is an easy instant slot. But yeah, look at this, folks. I mean, you're still using vigilante armaments because of the vigilante bonus. You're getting that 20% crit bonus enhancement. So you're going from a yellow to an orange or an orange to a red. Okay, let's do it. Here we go. Damage multi-shot. I mean, come on, folks. Come on. 3 multi-shot exactly. Is that... Oh my god. Look at that. I mean, but like still very similar stats. Like not super different. Oh, because I don't have a cold mod in here. Look at that. I don't have a cold mod. I got rid of primed cryo rounds because guess what? The AoE has built-in cold damage, so it's free. Zarr equals boom. Yeah, Matt Elkins was saying Seto with Citrine. I did miss that. Zion said, what do you think about Dante? Dante is getting a nerf. That's what I've heard. A mini nerf, a little bit of a nerf. I also said Daniel Reyes saying, hey, yo, it's my favorite YouTuber, TikToker. Shout out. Yeah, he needs 100 munitions. Rep 100 munitions. I love. Maybe it's I don't know what the long-term players will say, but I've always loved 100 munitions. Number 3 on the list, Ignis Wraith. Let's keep it moving. Way up on the list. 722. Let's do it. Pretty standard. Pretty actually a little bit different. I'm using heavy caliber to make my beam wiggle more because it actually kind of makes it a bigger area in a weird way, but it's a little whatever. It's just free damage versus multi-shot, so you know, take it or leave it. You could replace that with vigilante armaments. Vigilante supplies, you do suffer a little bit because you have that, but you do need the vigilante bonus. And then of course point strike, yeah, you want to preserve that fire rate. But yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. I mean, it's a little bit different, but it's mostly just heat damage, viral damage. You're still getting okay on the crit chance. But then, of course, you're getting the slash procs on every couple crits. So it's pretty good overall. And then, of course, yeah, look at this. Let's look at the Riven. Crit chance, crit damage, toxin. I mean, goddamn. So this is a unicorn Riven. It is saving a mod slot. I'm saving toxin. Look at that. 23% heat, 22% viral. So we're getting a ton of heat procs. We're going to hit viral instantly. And then, of course, we're just going to be laying into them with slash procs. So it's very, very simple. Almost the exact same build, except I'm saving that mod slot. So very easy to understand. That's number 3 on the list, Ignis Wraith. Number 4 on the list, Amprex. Here we go. Look at that. I mean, you are using primed rifle ammo mutation because you can. But it's pretty bog standard. I mean, you're just using viral and then vigilante armaments, which is just because you want to get that vigilante bonus. But also I think my thinking on this is, oh yeah, so you have 100 magazine and you want to just get as much ammo as you can, because I do think with a 12 fire rate you are going to burn through this ammo a little bit quicker than if you did if you use the Ignis Wraith. So that's kind of the whole idea. But yeah, I mean, it's just electricity and viral. That's kind of it. It's low damage. I mean, you're seeing that. It's definitely lower damage. But you've got 80% crit chance with 4.8 on the crit multiplier. Now, I did want to do this 7 times crit multiplier because just punch through crit damage. That's it. I mean, kind of a strange choice overall. But punch through on a beam weapon is, it's weird. I don't know if I want to reroll that. This might be a candidate for a reroll. You know what I mean? Like, this would be one where I might come back around to and be like, I think I could probably roll something a little bit better. It would have to either be toxin, cold, or like damage and multi-shot or something. But, you know, punch through is kind of cool and weird, but I don't know exactly how well it works. I've used it for a long time, so I would say it probably works pretty well. But yeah, I mean, the discerning viewer may be laughing in the comments right now. Anyway, number 5 on the list, of course, Kuva Bramma. A little bit further down on the list, pretty standard. Look at that. Critical delay and Vigilante Fervor is kind of hilarious. Charge rate is still 0.27, so insanely fast charge time. You're in the exact same position where you have 5 total. Let's look at this. 5 total shots, 1 ammo per shot. So pretty instantaneous that you're going to be just constantly picking up ammo. You got a lot of viral damage. You're rocking 14,000 damage on that radial attack. I did not mention that these also have bomblets, so you're going to let off these cluster bombs with every with every shot. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, keep it moving, folks. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's kind of exactly what you know and love. And this, of course, is just a freebie Riven. So you're looking at crit damage multi-shots. So that's kind of a fun one. You get 2.2 on the multi-shot. You are still using Vigilante Fervor. And then, of course, I mean, just a fun build. I mean, you're, of course, getting the Valence bonus, 37% Toxin. So way too easy. Way too much fun. That's number 5 on the list. Kuva Bramma. Let's keep it moving. Number 6 on the list, a newer weapon, so actually a little bit further down on the list. Acceltra Prime, let's do it. Here we go. What's different? Name anything that's different. I don't think there's a single thing that's different about this build. Wow, isn't that crazy? 100% crit chance is nice. You know, the damage ends up not really mattering because it's kind of like you just click something for long enough and it dies. And then if you're struggling, then you switch to a different weapon. Or like you switch to your pistol or something, which happens to be like the Onos, and you just click them again and then they die. Like, I try not to do that with the meta weapons because the whole point is you should just be able to only use that and pretty much be able to do anything you want. But yeah, it's pretty easy. And then of course the Riven. Crit damage cold, it is low stats. Like the stats are low as fuck, but it's still 8.3 on the crit multiplier. And yeah, of course, you do need to kind of save a mod slot because I do like having the bonus multi-shot. I like having over 2, guaranteed 2 bullets. That's kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, of course, you're getting Galvanized Chamber as well with all these guys, so that's a literal must. Like Galvanized, you can't live without Galvanized Chamber. Like that is just, you're suffering. You're living in hell otherwise. Anyway, moving on. Number 7 on the list. Oh, one of my faves. I say number 7 on the list, and then I say one of my faves, and I feel like I'm deceiving you guys, but yeah, dude, oh my god. Tenet Arca Plasmor is just, oh my god. That is the Riven build. Let's get into it, folks. The main thing is you're looking at 28,000 damage and 66% crit chance with a 2.1 multi-shot. So basically each bullet is dealing 14,000 damage. And it's basically 50-50 heat and viral. Or, you know, the 2 primary stats that are most likely to get procced are heat and viral. So those stat spreads are pretty much dead even. Of course, you're needing to use Vigilante supplies because this is a very, like, element heavy build, I guess is the word that I would use. Of course, Galvanized Hell mandatory. 74% status is honestly really fun. But, yeah, the main thing is just... You've got those balanced stats, and you've got a lot of damage. 66% crit chance is pretty fucking good. You just need a couple. You just need 1 or 2. Just you click something, and then one fire proc is just like, Jesus Christ. You're looking at it, you're like, oh my god, what is... Speaking of that, I just looked at TikTok, and I have 1,000 likes. Oh my god. Shout out TikTok as always. Isn't there insta-kill builds for this weapon? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, for the main part, it is just a monster. But yeah, the Riven build, you do not even want to see the Riven build. Toxin heat damage. Now, the thing about this Riven is that it is more than just perfect. It is more than just saving 2 elements. Toxin is on the bottom. If heat was on the bottom, I would be fucked. I would have to re-roll that Riven. 94 re-rolls for that. because Toxin is on the bottom, it's going to read the elements from left to right. It's going to go cold plus Toxin on the bottom plus heat plus heat plus heat. So now look at this. 10,000 viral, 8,400 heat. When we come over here, 16% viral, 13% heat. Not perfect, but god damn, do I love a fucking monster of a heat proc. Boy, I mean, I don't know if I've made it clear enough with this weapon specifically. I mean, I love shotgun builds for that exact reason, but boy, do I just have a lot of fun with those specific shotgun builds. I mean, they are just my favorite. We're going to get into a lot more of them further down the list, but for now, we're talking about number 8 on the list, the Torid Incarnon. Obviously, it's an Incarnon, so I'm still desperately trying to get it into the usage list. I'm trying to claw it back up. Oh, before I get into it, the first Incarnon, which means the first Incarnon upgrades need to be talked about. First upgrade, Plentiful Mayhem is going to suck your ammo, but give you a lot of damage. Increased damage by 31. Multi-shot consumes ammo directly from capacity and increases damage by 60%. So, you click one thing, you click anything, and it dies. Daniel says 1K easy taps. Shout out Daniel, as always. Second upgrade, bonus magazine. You can spam that shit. You can spam that shit. 14 magazine. And then, of course, free crit chance. Who doesn't love free crit chance? Let's get right into it, folks. Pretty much bog standard build. You're getting free toxin damage, so literally it's just viral. And that's it. Viral on the gas cloud, I guess you would call it. And then you're also getting 87% crit chance with a 5.6 multiplier. So you're talking about lots and lots of Hunter Munitions proc on that kind of AoE effect. But yeah, we're just going to keep it moving because the Incarnon form is the most criminal part. Here we go. 8.7 on the multiplier, 122% crit chance. It is just a funky beam. It is just a chain beam that deals so much damage. Like 93% status chance. That is just fucked. That's insane. Anyway, keep it moving. Sniper ammo mutation, whatever. Let's look at how much ammo I get from this. Oh, I get 10 ammo from pickup. So now I get 5 ammo. So cool. I mean, whatever. It takes 1 second to charge up your Incarnate. That's the thing, is it's so fast. So fast. Anyway, keep it moving. Riven has 2 bunk stats, but it's just damage multi-shot. So, I mean, come on, folks. Is it absurd or what? Anyway, 2,200 damage. That's it. 3.6 multi-shot. So that means with that multi-shot augment, it's going to go up even higher. Like, that number is just... Oh, my God. That number is just going. It's just cruising up and up and up. Anyway, keep it moving. That's pretty much it. Like, I'm really just double and triple dipping on multi-shot right now. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I still have Vigilante armaments, but it's just so nice. Like, I just love it. It's so easy because it makes the normal form also so good. Like, just really, really useful. But yeah, that is number 8 on the list, Torid Incarnon. Number 9 on the list is Latron Incarnon. We're actually moving pretty quick. I'm impressed. I can still, I think, do it a little bit quicker, but these are way easier to talk about. Here we go, Latron Prime. Ooh, this is a fun one. On puncture status, bonus multi-shot. You'll get a couple punctures. You can pretty much keep this active. It is a stack, so stacks will decay, I think, unless it just resets the whole thing. Anyway, 15 magazine capacity, whatever. You got a reload speed that's pretty quick. 1.8 on the reload, so you can just spam that when you need to charge it. That's a freebie. 24% crit chance and a 0.2 multiplier. That is the main thing that is just going to be absolutely criminal. Here, let's get into it though. Literally the exact same build, except yeah, we just have Vigilante armaments. Yeah, no, literally the exact same build. Stats though, 200% crit chance. It is. Ooh, it's kind of interesting stats. It is kind of goofy stats, though. The radial attack is a 4-meter AoE, so it's not huge. This is, of course, the first example of a really classic primary Incarnon AoE. 2,000 on the radial attack, but it's basically mostly viral. So if I come over here, 15, 15, and 36. So you've got a pretty decent chance. But yeah, puncture is going to be whatever. But you will be okay. You'll be able to spam this. You'll be able to recharge it really quick. It's going to be way too easy. But of course, when we talk about this, we got to talk about the Riven. Damage, multi-shot, crit chance. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Do I love talking about Warframe or weapon tier lists or what? Do I love my weapon tier list more than my Warframe tier list? I think the answer is yes. Anyway, stats. Let's do it. 4,500 on the AoE damage. Still basically the same spread, like literally the exact same build. I'm subbing out Vigilante armaments, so now I'm just using Vigilante supplies. But yeah, it is 300% crit chance, guaranteed red crits no matter what. Like, that is fucked. That is like goddamn. And then of course 7.9 on the crit multiplier. That is just evil. I mean, can anybody stand for it? With a 2.9 multi-shot, almost guaranteed 3 bullets. That is, I mean, for Hunter munitions and the bounce, like, that's why like my tier list might be a little skewed, because part of this list is like, if you get a Riven for any of these guys, that's why the Latron and the Torid are kind of in their own ballpark. And then we move down to the Tombfinger, which is, of course, number 10 on the list. Is it fun or what? I mean, it's got the infinite ammo if you're using... Oh, I'm going the wrong direction. I forgot it's bugged. It's just always at the bottom of my usage list. Anyway, here we go. Let's do it. Boom. Too easy. The main thing is you're rocking 95% crit chance with a 8,000 damage on the AoE. I mean, you're obviously using prime cryo rounds and malignant force, so you know you're still trying to get vigilante armaments in there, because I do like using hush, because you know if you have infinite ammo, then you don't need ammo mutation. So it's kind of nice that you know if you can basically know that if you're using a kit gun, then it has silenced shots. It is a 6.2 radial attack, so it's a little smaller than something like the Tenet Envoy. But yeah, I mean, the main thing is it's just deals pretty decent damage. You've got Hunter munitions in there. It's got infinite ammo with Pax charge, so you can spam it. The charge time is also important. Charge time, we're looking at 0.8, so it's still like almost a full second to charge up. But yeah, I mean, the main thing is like also getting a kit gun Riven is pretty easy. Cold multi-shot is nice. 3.9 multi-shot, almost essentially 4 bullets. It makes this gun fucked up. Makes this gun like really, really criminal. Like, I don't endorse the power. Like, that's, I mean, I don't know if I've said it for literally every single Riven I've talked about, but I hope the message comes through that, like, yeah, these weapons are all really, really, really strong, but like, you pray to God, you pray to whoever you believe in that you get a Riven for any of the weapons that showed up on my list. And it's like, you do? Oh, nice. Like, that's why, like, primary overall, like, rifle Rivens overall are going to... There's just so many more rifles than there are shotguns. But, you know, also, like, a kit gun Riven is pretty good, because then you can get, like, a Vermisplicer Riven. But, yeah, I mean, you have this super simple build. It's an 8 fire rate, so the tick rate is 8 ticks a second, I guess, I think. With a 2.4 multi-shot, pretty nice. It is just exactly the same build, but it is like, you know, kind of just a low damage chain beam, so you have to keep that in mind. You kind of have to hold it down for a while, and then the damage will stack up. So, if you played one beam weapon, you've pretty much played every beam weapon. That's what I've always said, is like, that's why Ignis, Wraith, and Amprex are really high, is because like they are just like normal weapons that are beam weapons that are like, damn, these things are fucking strong. These things are really strong. I like them, and they're really easy to use, and they just trivialize the entire game. But anyway, of course, the Riven, toxin and damage, recoil, whatever, who gives a fuck. Giving me 859 damage. I mean, just Jesus Christ. The slash damage I could care less about. I have 100 munitions in there for that exact reason. But yeah, for the most part, it's just you have free toxin damage, so save that mod slot. Or maybe you don't have free toxin damage. Maybe you do actually need... I think I do actually need both. Oh yeah, no, it does have built-in toxin damage. So I wouldn't even need this. I could actually just replace this with any old Riven, and it would actually work better. Like, if I got rid of this, look at how it balances out the stats. Yeah, now slash is 8.4 and viral is 26. So like I could literally re-roll this Riven and get something that would be more effective, just because you could lower the toxin damage overall and just maybe get more slash damage. So once again, another reason to use this weapon. Free viral. Like, you're not going to put heat on here, so you don't actually need two. You don't need a toxin and a cold mod. You just need a cold mod. So makes things really easy. But yeah, keep it moving. Keep it moving as always. Number 12 on the list, we've got the Tonkor to talk about. Tonkor, kind of an OG, just point and shoot AoE. The fun thing that I always point out is when you go to ammo from pickups, you get 3 ammo with a reload speed of 1.2. So you can shoot every 1.2 seconds. That's basically the gimmick. But yeah, you've got a toxin bonus of 35%. So you don't have a toxin mod in there, just like the last weapon, but for a different reason. And then, of course, you're just rocking a fuck ton of damage. That's it. 15,000 damage on the radial attack. You're rocking 30% status, which doesn't really matter. 7 times multiplier with 90% crit chance is pretty juicy. But yeah, you do want primed sniper ammo mutation. It's going to make things easier for you. It's going to allow you to spam. That's what you want to see. Let's keep it moving, though. What could it be? Oh, just damage, crit damage. Oh, yeah, just damage, crit damage. 23,000 damage with an 8 times crit multiplier. How do you like that, folks? How do you like that? That's a Riven if I've ever seen one. And of course, it's a freebie Riven, so it could literally be anything. You could roll some awful 130 roll Riven that's just a monster. That's like crit chance, crit damage, like multi-shot damage, crit damage, like some insane fucking monster of a Riven. Anyway, yeah, 23,000 damage with 8 times multiplier is pretty easy. Of course, with the vigilante bonus, which gives you that bonus multi-shot. So incredibly savage, in my opinion. That is number 12 on the list. Number 13 on the list, Phantasma. Very near, very dear. A very interesting build. A lot of fire damage. Pretty low on the crit chance, 33%, but I also have very low crit chance on the other one as well. But, you know, with a beam weapon, crit chance is a little bit different. Crit chance feels very different. You've got a fire rate of 9.6. I am slowing it down, funny enough, to get higher crit chance. So I'm slowing down the fire rate to 9.6, but that's almost 10 ticks a second. Still pretty good. The beam is the one that I'm going to be using with 62% status and literally exactly the same, because Scattering Inferno and Blaze are both 60, and of course these guys are also 60. So you got dead even, viral, and heat. So pretty simple build, something you've seen before, something you know pretty well. Riven, of course, is damage crit chance, so build is a little bit different. Heat is skewed lower, so I'm getting less heat damage, but I'm getting a little bit more crit chance, like a tiny bit more. But you know, on a beam weapon, a little bit more crit chance becomes very, very interesting. It is 5 rerolls, so do keep that in mind, folks. There are still Rivens on my list that I will always reroll, that I will always be like chasing the dragon. But anyway, number 14 on the list, Strun Incarnon, another example of a fire shotgun. Strun Incarnon is way higher on the list. Here we go. Another Incarnon. Here we go. Last 3 are Incarnons. Bonus damage by 2, and of course on firing bonus multi-shot, so you get free multi-shot all the time. Is that savage or what? Free reload speed, super easy. It's a round reloaded one, so it's nice. We're at 1,800 likes on TikTok. Shout out TikTok as always. And of course bonus crit chance. Who doesn't love it? You've got 100% crit chance on the normal fire, but you come over here and you got 180 crit chance on the alt fire. You've got 984 on the heat damage and 787 on the viral damage. So stats are incredible. They are impeccable. You also have slash damage, which is kind of fucked. Like, it's the stat skew right now, if we go here with 100% status, is viral. No, it's heat, viral, slash, blast, puncture. You got some weird stats. Very fun stats. 4 meter AoE as always with a 40 max charges. 100% status is very fucked up. It's hilarious. And then of course you're getting maxed out crit stats. 180 and 7.1 is insanely fun. I mean, it's just exactly what you want in a fire shotgun. Riven, of course, Toxin, multi-shot, status, duration. Very, very interesting Riven. Strange one, to say the least. Stats are very similar. You can see the stat spread is a little bit different because this Riven has 100% Toxin, which is obviously 40% more than the other one. You're getting 9,000 total damage, but the stat skew, obviously, you're at 26% heat, 28% viral. So you got some different stats, but still pretty monstrous, still pretty juicy. I love this new stat screen. It's awesome. It's so easy to use. But yeah, that's number 14 on the list. Number 15 on the list, of course, Burston Incarnon. Now, I think what I also want to talk about, where is this guy? Here we go. What I also want to talk about in a little bit when we get into the gameplay is something with the rest of the tier list. Okay, here we go. We've got basically the exact same build. Yeah, we've just got multi-shot instead of hammer shot. So 150 crit chance, 66% status, but you're gonna notice the stats and you might cry. 2 meter AoE on what is essentially a beam weapon with 16 ticks a second, so double that. It was double that of the Ignis Wraith, with insane crit stats. And then look at the stat spread: 30% heat, 36% viral. That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting is heat and viral. That's it. And you do have so much fucking ammo. But I will say, as an Incarnon, it does go lower. It does end up going lower because it is just a simple AoE beam weapon. But it is insanely fun, and when I was using it on Disruption, I was just destroying. Like, it was so easy. It just trivialized that entire game mode, and I was like, oh, whatever. Yeah, this is monstrous. Anyway, we've got a Riven. Let's talk about it. Daniel says he's got a Riven for the Burston. Let's see mine. Toxin, status chance, crit chance. So it's essentially replacing toxic whatever, almost 1-for-1, just with higher stats, and you're getting over 200% crit chance. So that means Vigilante Armaments is guaranteed to give you a red crit. So instead of having a 28% chance to get a red crit, you actually have a 48% chance to get a red crit. So that's free 20% crit chance. I mean, that's the beauty of the Vigilante bonus, is like once you're over 200, then Vigilante becomes so good. Like the idea of just getting free 20% more red crits on your primary weapon is like game breaking, like insane. I didn't even talk about this, which is of course the stats. Increased damage by 42, +5 multi-shot on final magazine burst is essentially useless. I'm never gonna proc it. The other ones I also was never gonna use, but whatever. Less recoil turns this into a laser, so it's easier to charge up. And of course, free crit chance. Who doesn't love it? Very simple. That's number 15 on the list. We got one more, the Boar Incarnon. The last of the new Incarnons, pretty savage. What we are talking about is a freebie, basically. So I think this one you want to do right away, because this one will stick when you go into Incarnon form. So you want to reload from empty to start off the thing. Trying to convince my teacher to get Warframe. Oh, damn, dude, Daniel, that's hilarious. In your opinion, what's the best Incarnon weapon? Well, in the meta tier list, the Torid Incarnon is the one that I rank the best, because it functions not just as an Incarnon, but also as a normal weapon. It's insanely powerful as both. But yeah, then of course you've got this, which is a freebie that does boost the Incarnon. You've got on reload from empty bonus reload speed, which is savage. And then of course you've got bonus crit chance and bonus crit multiplier. So very, very savage. Very, very fun. I'm leaning into Trump a little bit. I'm sorry, folks. We've got Axel's Gaming in the YouTube chat saying, in your opinion, what is the best Incarnon? Funny enough, on the meta tier list, it is the Torid Incarnon, because, like I said, the normal form works and the Incarnon form is also savage, even though the Incarnon form lasts for like 1 second. Anyway, here we go. Numbers a little bit lower without the Riven. You're talking 1,000 damage with a 120% fire rate And you're also talking about a 6.4% fire rate, which is really, really slow. 120% crit chance. So 6.4% fire rate, it's pretty slow. It's kind of weird, but the thing is, it just deals so much damage that you don't really need it to do anything else. And look at these stats. Look at these heat stats. 38%, and look at this. 24% heat, 14% viral. I mean, it's just insane. The numbers are classic. The build is standard. I mean, it's so much fun. You're just maxing out on the damage with a really high damage beam weapon like this. It is kind of cool to slow down the fire rate because you just get like one chunk and it'll chunk like, excuse me, I just bumped the whole desk again. I need to go over when I do that. It'll chunk like every single enemy. Like it'll just jump and you can watch it jump. Anyway, we're at 50 minutes and that is the last Warframe, or the last weapon, excuse me. So let's look at the Riven. Cold crit chance recoil, a very, very strange one, but of course it means you've got 180% crit chance, so a lot of crit chance. It is a little bit more balanced stats. You are seeing 325 and 288, but you know, whatever, who cares at that point? You're just dealing a fuck ton of damage. That's pretty much it. Let's keep moving. That's about it. Let's actually play some weapons. So of course I'm playing with Rivens. But the thing is, I'm playing as Trinity because Trinity is a perfect example of a Warframe that really needs a meta weapon to survive properly because they don't really have a lot else. Like, Trinity doesn't really have a lot going for her. Like, it's pretty much just you need to have the Kuva Zarr. Of course, I am using the Onos because I want to rank it up. But, you know, I'm not going to be using it in this mission. I also need to turn on the speakers. So the tier list ended up being exactly the same length as they always are. 50 minutes in total, so, you know, take it or leave it, folks. All right, let's do a little Zarr gameplay. There you go. There you go. Oh, it's good to be back. Slow on the reload, but I do have 6 shots in the mag, which is pretty savage. And that's the thing, is when you have this low of ammo capacity, your magazine is also your max ammo. So being able to take advantage of your max ammo at all times is going to be pretty critical. So step 1, get Eclipse active. Was it going to say the number? Where's that fucking number? 75%. Oh, do I need to hold it down? 105. There you go. You gotta hold it down. Okay. So I got 105. Oh, I think I fucked it up. One sec. Let's do it one more time. 112. There you go. That's the number. So I am using Eclipse. I have converted, but Trinity has negative range. So if I used Roar, it wouldn't even benefit my teammates because I would never be in range of them because I would be running around. And yeah, you're seeing it now. So the basic gist of it is, like, I am using it on Trinity. She does have 2 buffs going for her. She's got Arcane Avenger. And she's got Eclipse, as you can see. But what you're also noticing is that it's kind of necessary. Part of her whole thing is that you kind of do need a weapon to keep you alive. It's pretty essential. But yeah, you're noticing that, like, part of using the Kuva Zarr is not actually using it at all times. Like, not keeping, you know, not burning through ammo is part of how you play with these kind of meta weapons. Is like, you're actually favoring just chilling out for a little bit. Do I not have this active? Oh, good. It does show the duration on there. That's good. So I can see the 75% damage reduction on there. But yeah, what you're really just talking about is you're kind of just running around and taking advantage of the fact that you have all the buffs. So you've got all the buffs active. You've got everything that you need. Now all you have to do is run around and just be smart about your shots. Okay, it's not about dumping your mag. It's not about playing it crazy. It's more about taking it easy, playing it simple. I am noticing that I'm keeping my corrosive damage built up on my glaive pretty high. And dude, melee influence. I think, is it melee influence? I think, is that the one that I'm talking about? The one that gives you corrosive damage on your melee weapon. That one is just fucked. It's insane. It's way too good. Oh, it's a 20-second duration. Okay, so I see. So the duration of the corrosive bonus is the exact same duration as this ability, which is Trinity's Grace, I think it's called. And of course, Grace is just 75% damage reduction. So I'm using that in place of any kind of, like, need for armor or something like that. And that's basically functioning... Oh, fuck that. There we go. It's basically functioning as my damage resistance. So I have the damage resistance. I've got decent shields. I've got decent health. I've got an adaptation, so I can tank hits from normal enemies. So now I just have to focus on avoiding, you know, big damage attacks. Like, you know, these damage puddles are pretty dangerous. Is this guy jumping down here? Yeah, he is jumping down here. Okay, so I want the enemies to follow this dude just because I love having a pretty buff Eclipse. Okay, I did reset that. So I did reset the corrosive bonus, but it does build up pretty quick. So that's the thing, is I'm trying not to use my glaive, because the other thing that I always need to mention when I'm actually talking about gameplay is that when I'm doing these missions where there's like a boss spawn every 5 minutes, it's like I am still using a glaive. You know, I try to use my own pistol. Like, I try to use a pistol that's a little bit, you know, that's something that I'm actually trying to rank up, because I find that, like, you can still have fun with a pistol. You just need to know that you have that easy mode button. Like, you need that meta primary, or you need that glaive in there, and then once you have that, then you're pretty much set. So keep that in mind. I don't even have Eclipse active. But yeah, look at this. I mean, the basic gist of it is, like, for the most part, it's not really about shooting all the time. I mean, you can say it over and over, but it's more about just getting the feel for it. Like, and that's the thing, is what it really means is I try my best not to use this on frames that don't really need it. So, like, when I did the Inaros rework video, I used the Cinta, because the Cinta is a weapon that's like, yeah, if you've got 50 enemies that are all behind each other, then yeah, the Cinta is like the best weapon in the game. But, you know, in a situation where you're in an arena and you need to group enemies up, you're going to be better off with either something like an AoE, or, you know, a chain beam, or guess what, a grouping ability. So Inaros is going to have his tornado. If you use my Atlas build, then you're using Coil Horizon. Did I just one-shot that dude? What just happened there? What just happened there? Question mark? So there you go. You're seeing these numbers. I'm dead, but that's okay. As long as the Acolyte doesn't spawn, I don't think I had my Grace. No, I did not have my Grace active. So yeah, guess what, folks? Here, can I let you in on a secret? If you're playing Trinity and you don't have Grace active, you're gonna die. Is that a secret? Is that like something that Warframers don't tell you? This frame has a defense buff, and if you don't keep it active, you're gonna die. That's right. I'm the best Warframe player you've ever seen, folks. Take it or leave it. That's what I want to hear. That's the truth. That's the honest to God truth. Let's come over here. I'm gonna try and take these guys out one at a time. Oh my God, Jesus Lord Almighty! What is going on? And this is what I love, folks. I honestly say I need to just say fuck it to these dudes. But yeah, I mean, I kind of just want to kill them. I'm not actually going to convert them. I mean, I don't know what that guy's doing. Okay, he's dumb. Alright. I mean, yeah, this is the part that always pisses me off, because these guys take forever. They are always a pain in the ass. Alright, one of them is dead. I'm out of here, folks. Yeah, that's it. That's Kuva Zarr. That's number 1 on the list. Hope you guys liked it. Of course, I should have time to do, what, 5, 6 of them? Maybe 7? I don't know. I feel like when I do the S tier weapons, what I wanted to talk about is, like, when I do the S tier weapons, I feel like what I want to do is limit it to like 15. I'm thinking something like that. You know, the top 5 will be, of course, the top 5, and then the bottom 10, you know, you get 10 extra slots at the bottom that you can use. But yeah, I mean, what you're really just talking about is I want to kind of show all the different, like, okay, what makes up an S tier weapon? Like, a weapon that isn't necessarily perfect, isn't true meta, but still works pretty well and is still pretty fun. Like, I think if you keep that in mind as like how you're going into it, then it helps. Like, and that's something that I'll talk about in the actual video, is like
excellent armaments.
The whole point of those weapons is, like, they are insanely strong. They're just not of the level where you can pretty much do anything with them. Like, they do suffer a little bit, like, if you're in a stressful situation. Like, the whole point of a Kuva Zarr or a Tenet Envoy is, like, you literally just shoot and everything dies. That's it. You don't think, there's no gameplay. You just shoot and then it's gone, and then they die. That's it.
The canvas of war.
And of course, when you talk about the Tenet Envoy, then you also talk about just being able to swap to your glaive, deal with anything instantly, and then it's going to give you free ammo. Like
The Orican Neural Sentry is attempting to
yeah, there we go.
purge you from this
Fully
place.
charged, fully ready to
Stand
go.
by
Let's
for
do
life
it.
support.
All right, here we go. Let's get Eclipse active to start off with, and of course a little bit of Grace, and then we'll get some buffs, and let's do it. All right, here we go, folks. So now we're all geared up and ready to go. We've got our buffs active. I need a little bit more energy, so I'm going to kind of pray for some more enemies to come through here. Let's see, let's see. There we go, that's good. Love it, love it. So yeah, keeping Grace active is going to be pretty clutch. There we go. I am still getting 180. As you can see, the reload speed is a little bit slow. But that's kind of the whole point. Like, you don't really need to be shooting all the time. It's not super essential. The gun does enough damage that as long as you're close enough to an enemy, they will die. Like, it's not super crazy. You just have to remember that, like, oh, it does take a while to reload, so you don't want to, like, click in the middle of a reload, because then it's like, oh, it's not going to actually reload. And let's hit this. Nice and easy. Come through, get this, get another Eclipse buff. Yeah, also the nice thing about Eclipse is it's like it costs 25 energy, and it lasts like way longer than Roar. Like, it's decent chunk longer. It's pretty nice. I can melt 40 and below, but that's about it. Oh wait, I'm missing. I have problems with Hildren. At least I think that's how you spell her. But like I like using Haven, but don't know what to do to make it more powerful. You should use Blazing Pillage on Haven. So Blazing Pillage is gonna basically any enemy that's affected by Haven, whenever you hit them with Pillage, it's gonna create a fire proc. And then if you're a real savage, you replace her 4th ability with Breach Surge, so that every time the fire proc ticks damage, it's gonna send out one of the Breach Sparks. So it's like, it's DPS boost on a level that like might crash your computer. Like, that's one of my favorite DPS boosts. It's fucking hilarious. It's awesome, actually. It's like the dumbest, like most caveman combo in the world, but it just works so well. Also, I'm just letting myself die. I'm just blown away. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely having fun. I hate Guardian Eximus. Fucking God Almighty, do I hate Guardian Eximus. But yeah, I've got a nice, healthy glaive that can deal a lot of damage. So literally all I have to do is swap to the glaive for a little bit. Yeah, get some damage ticks for 1.4 million. There you go. And it's fully charged again. Fully loaded and ready to go. I mean, do you love the gun or what? Tenet Envoy, number 2 on the list. It's just juicy in a way that like trivializes the entire game. Like, you're not even aiming. Like, the gun forces you to not aim. I want to see that Envoy build. Yeah. Well, this is an Envoy Riven as well, so it's like even more sad. Even like a diminished, like highly lowered Riven disposition is still doesn't really matter. Like, it's just, you want to get some wacky, goofy ass stats, and then you're just cruising like a madman. Like, you're just, oh, what's the Glaive Prime build? I'm not using Glaive Prime. I'm using the Falcor with a Riven and also with melee influence, which just gives me a fuck ton of corrosive damage. But then I'm also using it with Arcane Avenger, so I'm getting free crit chance, so I'm getting like over orange crits guaranteed. So it's all kind of a combo effect. But yeah, look at this. Orange crits. I mean, look, red crits. I mean, just so juicy. Too easy. And then guess what? Envoy is fully loaded again. So much fun. Yeah, Nodo. Oh, shout out Adrian for following. Honestly, you know what I might do? I might just do the top 10 weapons. I feel like meta primaries is important, but I feel like when I do S tier primaries, it's going to be like a whole different video. Like, the whole point of an S tier primary is that it's, for the most part, only best used with a grouping warframe. Like a warframe that literally pulls every enemy into one spot so that you just shoot it with the Opticore Vandal or the Kuva Shakur or something, and then it just dies instantly. Like, That's
They know you're
the
here.
basic gist of it. It's
Prepare for
not like
sentient
super
predators.
crazy to understand. Like for the most part, it's you're kind of just, you know, not a rook, Cinta, Fullman Prime is a good example. You know, a newer weapon. You know, the Prime version at least. Yeah, it's just a lot of weapons where like the ammo economy just doesn't work if you're not using it in that way. You know, the actual best use of that weapon is in a situation where every enemy is right next to each other, and you can't exactly manufacture that unless you have, you know, unless you have some kind of grouping ability. So, you know, you could always use Magus Anomaly, but, you know, I don't really like doing that. It's kind of lame to me. Anyway, that was a big fucking juicy ass slash proc. Let's hit this, and then just delete this guy. He's done for. And then we probably have time to do this one as well. Oh, he was also dead. Oh, that's really fun. I love that. Yeah, look at these slash procs just going off. Okay, here we go. Moving and grooving. 539. Pretty good, honestly. Let's get moving. Keep this active. And let's get the fuck out of here. Alright, folks. What am I missing? Can you turn up the... Can you turn up the motion blur a little bit more? I think you're lacking some. Is that a meme? Is that a joke? I can't tell. Maybe I'm stupid, but that's a good one. Where am I going? This is not the entrance. Why is there so much? Oh no, it's probably just the encoding. Like the encoding probably just can't handle Warframe gameplay. I've noticed that. Like it's at 30 FPS and 720, and it's still like TikTok is just like cannot fucking handle it. I don't even know if I have motion blur on. I actually probably do have motion blur. I've had it on for a few different games and had it off for a few different games. I can never remember which ones I have it on for, but hey, fair play. Why is there so much?
A valuable lesson.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, I might have it on. You could be showing me right now. Elaz says, is that the Zorus? No, that's the Falcor. Not gonna lie, Chroma is in circuit god tier level threat. No, I appreciate it, Daniel. And dude, Chroma's new augment is fucking cracked. Let's see. Video, field of view, sharpening. Where's motion blur? Motion blur off. Oh, he was right. Well, there you go. Motion blur is off. That should be better. Let's do it. All right. I did not swap my weapon. I'm stupid. Just did Archon hunt. My team was horrid. Yeah, dude. Oh my god. No, Archon hunts fucking suck.
Excellent.
Like,
Operator.
especially when it's like an Archon hunt interception. That's why I do the hunt. That's why I do the actual showdown. I do that shit solo. Like, I don't even play with other people. I just use Rhino, and then I use the Fenmore, and that's pretty much it.
Your weapons make music.
Like, it's just so
and
fucking
the enemy
brainless.
calls for a song.
There we go. Okay, let's do it. All right, here we go.
The Orican Neural Sentry.
I mean, what are we really talking about,
purge you
folks?
from this place. Stand by
We're
for
talking
the
about
support.
cruising. We're talking about bruising, as always. We're gonna get a quick little Zenny bubble. We're gonna get this, and then get a nice, juicy 118 on that. And then here's the fun part. You just want to keep your left click held down at all times. You just pretty much are just running around, feeling like a madman, feeling like Biden. Sorry, guys. This comes out sometimes. You know, I say one too many things the wrong way, and then it just happens. It is a weird one. I just use the Strun with Gyre. Dude, I got stuck on the spy because I had like 5 runs in a row where people were just getting detected. Dude, I haven't done a spy mission public in like years. Like in so I can't remember the last time that dude, Noto, I fucking hate doing spy missions with other people. Because it's like generally if they're doing it public, it's because they're fucking bad at doing it solo. That's what I've noticed. Like I never do that shit. I would hate I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, to be like forced to do a public spy mission where like you're almost guaranteed that someone's gonna fail it, and it's just dog shit. But yeah, I think what you're noticing is that you should stand on the ground with the Ignis Wraith and actually like point at the enemies. But then it does work pretty well. I think part of the Ignis Wraith is that it's kind of pretty easy to get overall. Like you get to Master Rank 9, it's like this savage fucking flamethrower that's just sick as fuck. And it's so OG. Like it's such an OG strong weapon from like way back in the day. And it is just fire, viral, and slash damage. And that's kind of all you need. And you're seeing like, you know, you're noticing that it's a little bit even better to be further away too, because you can get this like wider spread. But it's just, yeah, look at this. You see enemies and they're dead. You look at them and they're gone. And then we get this savage. Did we get it right? Yeah, we got it right. Solar Eclipse. Okay, easy clap. Hit this. Full heal on the cat. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And that's the thing, is like if you're worried. Oh, what am I missing? I'm missing a lot of shit. Oh. Yeah, never doing Archon Spy on public ever again. I just use Wukong with the Helmet hack ability. Oh, dude, that's insanely genius. Spies are so easy, though. Yeah, I just use Ivara. That's, like, pretty much it. It was actually aggravating. Yeah, I feel it. I miss when Mirage was meta with the Simulor. Dude, I still love the Simulor. The Synoid Simulor, like, when I'm in the circuit, every time it shows up, there was actually once when I got Mirage and the Simulor, and I was just wrecking shit. I was like, this is fucking awesome. It was so much fun. Like, the circuit is one of those game modes that just revolutionized everything. Like, I spent so much Forma when Deviri came out. So much Forma. Because I was like, I need to perfect the circuit where I am guaranteed to succeed in any mission with any setup. Like, oh, I get fucked on my weapons. Well, good thing I have Zephyr, or I have Inaros, or I have Atlas, like somebody with some kind of active CC ability where I can just group up a bunch of enemies and just pacify them completely. Not for the randoms the game leaves me with. Yeah, I feel it. Is this Steel Path? Yeah, this is a conjunction survival. So this is, I think, the highest level just like mission you can load into. I could probably also do a bounty, but I don't want to have to worry about completing a bounty. Those are level 215, but it's like, this is the highest technical level that you can get just as like a mission you can load into anytime you want. Like, yeah, I think the bounties would probably be the actual highest level, because those are, I think, 215 to 220. But yeah, also it is Steel Path, so I'm getting these Acolyte spawns, which is the other main thing. That's kind of the only thing that I actually care about. So if I get a speedy Acolyte spawn, that would be savage. But you're noticing, like here, look at this. Ignis Wraith, not really keeping up as well as you want against Acolyte, but then I do this and he dies instantly. So it's a trade-off. I'll always have the Falcor in a situation where I'm afraid of one of these dudes. So for the most part, you know, you're seeing the value of the Ignis Wraith. If you look at something that isn't an Acolyte, and you should be pretty much okay. I'm going to hit this. I'm just going to stand here and click him for a little bit, and I'm still dead anyway. Yeah, I mean, folks, can I let you in on another little secret of Warframe? Most frames can't tank a Battlist. If you're standing right in front of a Battlist spinning its lasers, I don't think you can survive that. I'm no expert in Warframe, but I don't think most builds can handle that shit. So, pardon my French, as it were, but keep that in mind, folks. And I'm dead again. God damn it. Well, there you go. I need 75% damage reduction. Not enough for the Lua Thrax laser. That was a pretty poor shot. Anyway, we're going to see if we can kill one of these dudes. And then we're pretty much out of here. I mean, yeah, look at this. You stand on top of it, and it dies. I mean, what you're finding is, like, if you get bogged down, you do have to kind of run around like an idiot and clear out a bunch of enemies. Oh, he's alive again. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Let's hit this for sure. Yeah, we're going to let it fail. I mean, did I already activate the one? Yeah, I already did. Alright, there you go. He's down again. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, honestly, Ignis Wraith, yeah, I am noticing, like, it's not exactly as perfect as I once imagined, but it does still pretty it does still keep up pretty well. I don't think it's, you know, as god tier as some other ones, but I think it's good to have it up here because it's so classic. I mean, funky beams, they belong higher on the list, I think. Shout out Noto for following. I did miss that. Got to play Dante on circuit today. Oh, dude, that's awesome. I think Steel Path Conjunction Survival Relics are the highest, but don't know if they were counting them. Yeah, no, just the thing is, like, the relic doesn't show up every time. I do think there is a relic active because, yeah, that's 215 to 220. So I think that is the highest level. I think there might be a relic active, so I could potentially crack a relic. But yeah, I mean, that would be the thing. I want to do the Omnia. I love the idea of an Omnia. I think it's perfect because I can just do a bunch of Lith relics and get free Forma, so super easy. Shout out FWJ for following. We've got Azap saying the Ignis is okay, but just more weapons can outperform it with less commitment. Yeah, I feel that. I definitely noticed that, like, part of it is, like, there's this momentum thing with the Ignis where if you get behind on the amount of kills per second, then you get fucked. But it's like, part of that is if you need to look at something directly to kill it, then that's going to slow down your DPS for the enemies around you. So, like, Trinity is a good showing because she did get overwhelmed by Ignis in the end. But I think the point still stands that, like, you know, it may actually not, you know, I'm thinking about it, number 3 on the list, and I'm, like, actually debating it now. But I do think it's like, why use Ignis with A4 when you can just use an Incarnon? Yeah, but I think my whole thing is that the Incarnons, you just have to keep charged. It's not awful, just old. Yeah, I feel it. I feel it. Gotta go. See ya. Have a good night. Shout out Daniel. Yeah, AZAP. I feel it. I think part of it is that, you know, it is just the truest example of, like, an old school funky beam weapon, which is just a beam weapon with a wide area. But in the end, it's like, it is more of the old guard in a lot of ways. But yeah, I think part of why I always have the Incarnon so low is that just the whole mechanic of having to switch back and forth just ends up slowing me down quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, you're kind of noticing a similar thing with the Amprex. I'm having to look at enemies too long. And I'm kind of thinking it's going to end up a little bit similar to the Ignis, where I need to have a big group of enemies to actually take advantage of it properly. But yeah, look at this. I've got a fuck ton of ammo. I've got an insane amount of ammo. But yeah, let's come over here and just get our buffs going. Do this, and then let's go. Here we go. All right, that's what I'm talking about, folks. So yeah, I think the most part, you know, this is also a good test for me to see the actual value of punch through. I don't think it has a lot of value. I think this is a Riven that I will be re-rolling. And that's the thing, folks, is, like, part of it is once you get that Riven, then yeah, whatever weapon you have a Riven for, that is now the number one. Unless you have a Riven for all of them like I do. Whatever Riven you have, that's the one you go with. Like, if you look at my list and you're like, oh, I have a Burston Riven. Oh, guess what? The Burston is the best weapon in the game now. Oh, I have a Torid Riven. Oh yeah, that's the best weapon in the game now. Because it's just like you can get these weird fucking Riven combos that are just like so criminal. Like criminal, strange, bizarre, but also like so much fun. Exactly what you want in this game. Like, that's the thing. That's the true power fantasy that I think a lot more people should really have fun with, is getting these kooky fucking Rivens that are really weird. Can you guys tell me if this punch through is doing anything? Or if I should just re-roll this? Can you even use Bramma on Steel Path anymore? Probably. I'm going to be using it next. It's literally the next weapon on the list, because the Amprex is number 3 or number 4, and the Bramma is number 5. So that's the next weapon we're playing. So you're going to find out pretty quick if it survives on conjunction. Also, I need water. Give me 1 second. Okay. Back at it. Here we go. Because that's the thing, is like Trinity essentially relies completely on a weapon, and a really good weapon too, because yeah, Trinity definitely struggles with it. Like, I could switch to the Onos and you would see where it struggles with it. Oh, and look at that. Speaking of the devil, somebody steals my Amprex, pulls out my Onos for a second. Oh my god, he pulled out my Onos. I should not say that again. You can, but once again, it's just outdated. A lot of other Kuva weapons outperform it. Yeah, I mean, I feel it. I think in the end, what I find is like, for the most part, you can pretty much use any of these weapons. Like, you have 3 weapons, and as long as all of them are strong, it's not super crazy. Am I blurry? I don't think I'm blurry. I think I'm okay. Like, you have 3 weapons, and so you would, in the end, once you have like 3 good weapons, like, that's kind of the thing. Kuva Bramma sort of underperforms on Steel Path Circuit due to low ammo. Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that for sure. Like, having only 5 ammo, it's like if you don't have enough enemies spawning, then you're not going to be able to take it. You can't just stand there and let enemies build up. Like, it's often not as good as being in a normal survival mission because it's in a weird fucking map on the Steel Path Circuits. Like, those are weird. I'll tell you that. That was Alf McLeod on YouTube. Shout out Alf McLeod. But yeah, let's keep it moving, folks. What you're really just talking about is the nice thing about a true, like, funky beam weapon is that you really do just click shit and it dies. Like, you know, with the Ignis, it's more about getting a perfect map. Like, you know, it was pretty good on that map, actually, all things considered. Like, I had access to a hallway where I could essentially just pull enemies together. Yeah, look at this. Amprex against Malice not doing as good as you want it to. I'm getting obliterated for a zillion. But yeah, what I do still have is I do still have that weapon. I do still have the Falcor in that situation. So you will still see me pulling out the Falcor. Can I stop getting my gun stolen from this guy? He needs to die. Can we all agree, folks? That guy needs to die. I've already got the Steel Essence, so I might just say fuck it as soon as the Battleists die, because those are going to be the ones that are going to kill me. Where is this fellow? Is he? Where is he? Where is this leech? Am I blind or something, folks? I'm going to die. I can't find the Leech Eximus. How about we just kill everything, and then one of them is the Leech Eximus. There's the Leech Eximus. Alright, time to die, dude. He's dead. Okay. Let's just stand up here for a sec. Yeah, there you go. As you can see, a little underperforms in that aspect. But I think my whole thing has always been that the power of a funky beam, like, cannot be understated. Like, funky beams have value that is a little bit odd and peculiar. But that's why I end up putting them so high on the list. Like, that's why Torid Incarnon is so high on the list, because not only is it an AoE, not only does the AoE have this, like, damage over time effect that is very, like, fucky and crazy, but also it has this funky beam that it's like a one-tick killer. Like, it kills everything in a single damage tick. I'm dead. But it's a funny way that I'm dead, because I can do this. And I can kill him and also revive myself at the same time. Kind of fun. You like that, folks? You like that? That's kind of fun. Still getting obliterated as soon as Grace gets deactivated, but that's kind of the gimmick with Trinity, I guess, if you call it a gimmick, or just me being shit at the game. But anyway, keep moving. We're done. We're out of here. It was 5 minutes, 41 seconds. Oh, I'm missing a bunch of shit. I'm missing a bunch of shit on TikTok. Give me 1 second. Let me clear out this mission. 8:23, and we're on number 4, dude. We're gonna be able to play a lot of weapons. I can at least do 5. I might do like 6 or 7. This is gonna be great. 5 minutes 58. I mean, kind of juicy overall, but yeah, let's just keep it moving. All right, we're out of here.
Your will was greater. This is
Seriously
good.
too easy though. Like, I hope you guys are kind of understanding, like, the philosophy behind certain weapon choices. Like, having a funky beam high on the list is kind of also just to show you. Oh, what am I missing? It's also just one of the worst bows in the game currently. Nadaruk, Dread, and Paris outperform better. Torid is best beam weapon. Yeah, that's funny. Like, AZAP just named 3 different infinite enemy punch through weapons, which I don't even rank as meta weapons because they don't have AoE. Torid is best beam weapon. Only way I've enjoyed the Kuva Bramma is with Mirage running Eclipse and Hollow Mirrors. Other than that, you just don't have the ammo to do enough. Yeah, I think my whole philosophy with Mirage or the Kuva Bramma is the same as the Kuva Zarr. Like, you shouldn't be shooting all the time. You should actually be, like, limiting your shots a lot. because you want to hit like at least 6 or more enemies at once. But yeah, I mean, Kuva Bramma build fucked up. Let's do it. Too easy. Let's do it, folks. I mean, also part of it is, yeah, I have a Riven for it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 203 to 205. That's pretty awesome. I mean, yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, that's hilarious. I was like, yeah, Azap named... Well, he didn't name Cinta, which is funny, because the Cinta... you need a Riven to actually make the Cinta good, but it is kind of cool when you get a Riven for it. It's definitely not as good as the 3 that they named, but still definitely pretty decent. I mean, there you go. That's kind of all we need to see. Everything's dead. And yeah, obviously the trade-off is you're going to be using the Falcor more, but you have enough damage output that you can pretty much clear out anything. And you're going to notice that even with 5 shots, I'm pretty much going to be fine all the time. I'm not even going to shoot it for the first couple minutes of the gameplay. Maybe like the first 20 seconds. I'm going to hit this and then this. There should be enough enemies. All right, let's test it out, folks. Oh my god, folks. Is it good or what? It's just a classic. It's so good. Oh my god. It's insanely juicy. There's 4 ammo again. Oh my god. Look at that shot. Criminal. Criminal, I tell you. Anyway, we've got another perfect map for this, so just keep it moving. Full steam ahead. We'll see if we ever run out of anything. That'll be the test, folks. That'll be the day. Oh, I see another big, juicy group of enemies. Boom. Love that. Look at that AoE. Love it. Love it. I also know there's an air burst mode that I want to try out. Let's see. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I like that. Oh. Yeah, you guys are like, oh, yeah, the Kuva Bramma just doesn't keep up. It just doesn't perform. I'm like, I love the Kuva Bramma. You know, I'm just acting like a fucking idiot, just running around like a madman. I'm probably also just shaking my camera, and that's probably why it's also having trouble focusing on me. Oh, but yeah, I'm having a good time, folks. Kuva Bramma, way too classic, way too much fun. Of course, Eclipse comes in clutch, very, very useful. But yeah, I mean, that you're seeing it, like the strat is, that shit is not active at all times. It's best used when you see like a big group of red triangles on the map. Like, here we go, folks. Do we love it or do we love it? You're just clearing them out. You're one-shotting them. Like, this is what you want to see in a meta primary. Like, not even thinking about anything. All I'm doing, I'm running around, I'm checking chat, and then I look at the map in the top left. I see a group of enemies and I shoot them, and that's it. But I'm literally just kiting enemies. I'm running back and forth, kiting enemies, getting growing power whenever I need to buff. Too easy, folks. I mean, seriously, like, Trinity, this is what Trinity loves. Just being like, oh, I don't care about enemies. I have 75% damage reduction. I don't care about enemies. I have the Kuva Bramma. Like, it's a perfect combo. It's a match made in heaven. That's what you want. That's what a buff frame is for, really, is like, the buff frame is really like, come on, man. Give me something good. Give me something I can work with. And then now you're just running around like a madman. I'm kind of wasting my shots, but look at this. Look at all this ammo. Look at all this ammo, folks. Too easy, folks. Too easy. Oh my god. I'm just having a blast. Like, this is what this game is all about. Like, I've been playing Helldivers. The fucking gunship towers, like, make me want to quit the game. Like, bro, like, oh my god. Is there a certain reason you're playing Trinity, or do you just like her? So I'm playing Trinity because she is what I would call a buff frame. Well, I guess everybody would call it buff frame, because she doesn't really have anything going for her in terms of like DPS or CC or grouping. So she's essentially wholly reliant on buffing her weapons. And so what that means is, if I'm not effectively using my weapons, then you're going to notice it. You're going to notice me like get fucked. You're going to notice me die, because I'm not effectively killing enemies with my quote-unquote meta weapon. And that's the whole point, is like using a buff frame. Like, I didn't want to use Chroma, because Chroma, like, as a buff frame, like, is just on a whole nother level. Chroma is fucked up. So much damage. She's really a buff frame. She's a support frame. Yeah, but that's why I've been talking about Eclipse the whole game. Like, keeping Eclipse active and shit is like, yeah, she's a support frame. She has 250% strength and 250% duration, because, like, I'm not really using any of her other abilities besides Blessing, which is giving me the 75% damage reduction. So that keeps me alive. It keeps my team alive. gives the 75% damage reduction for, you know, 25 seconds at 250% range. And then what you're really talking about is you already have max range, so you already have negative duration, so you might as well just like max out on strength, and then add you know, roar or eclipse on there, and then suddenly your already insanely strong weapon becomes the thing that's saving you and keeping you alive in gameplay at all times. So I am gonna fail unless I activate this. Let's grab that. What are we missing? Bramma is not a meta weapon. Like, I don't know if this guy's been watching the gameplay or not. Like, that's always the thing. It's like, bro, that's like, have I not been articulating my point the entire time? Like, I'm running around. I'm looking at the red triangles, and I'm shooting the red triangles, and then they go away. That's like, it's easy mode gameplay. That's the whole point. It's like, oh, and then guess what? We've got a couple Thrax enemies. Let's see how many shots it takes. While I have infinite ammo around me, and then they're both dead, and then I can just deal with Thrax enemies. One of them respawned. Oh shit, one of them respawned. Let's not die right now. Let's not embarrass myself in front of the commenter. Here we go. Let's see how many shots it takes once I activate Eclipse. I mean, yeah, it's not like one-shotting them or two-shotting them, but I mean, is it too easy or what? Can I hit this guy? There you go. He's dead. Okay, we're out of here, folks. I mean, and that's why I play Circulus. That's why I play the 180 conjunction, because it's like, yeah, the Thrax enemies are like annoyingly high level right to start off with. Meta would be Torid or Latron. Yeah, Torid is number 8 on the list. Latron is number 9 on the list. And that's literally just because they're incarnates, because they're just more annoying to use than just shoot. Like, it's, oh, you have to swap forms with the Latron. It's like, oh shit, I ran out of Incarnon charge and the Acolyte just spawned. Or, yeah, that's the whole point. Meta is brain dead gameplay. That's exactly what I've been trying to say. Like, it's about usability. Like, they're all strong. But, like, yeah, if you have a Riven for all of them, yeah, KOA says, I have 6,000 hours in the game. It still isn't like meta. It's good, just not meta. Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm getting at, is like, the whole point is it trivializes the entire game. But yeah, Torid is just, oh, I have my gun for 1 second, and then I swap to my Incarnon for 3 seconds, and then I swap back to my gun for 1 second. And it's like, oh, is my Incarnon charged? Yes, swap. Versus just shoot. Versus just, oh, there's an enemy, charge up, 0.2 charge up time, shoot. That's it. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, we're already at number 5 on the list, Kuva Bramma. But yeah, I mean, when you talk about like the Kuva Zarr and the Tenet Envoy, like, there is literal no gameplay. There is literally no gameplay. Like, you just look at something and you're like, oh, this needs to die, dead. That's it. There's no like charging Incarnons. I mean, obviously, like, Torid is the unique one, but yeah, Torid is still number 8 on the list, because it's still just not as, it's just not as fun or satisfying as the Acceltra or the Tenet Arca Plasmor, just in the end. And that's why it's like, that's why there are a million tier lists. And that's why there will always be a million tier lists. It's like, in the end, everybody uses weapons for different reasons. Shout out Black Diamond for following. Everybody uses weapons for different reasons. Everybody makes tier lists for different reasons. There will be people who will show up and say, oh, well, I make the most objective tier list. I judge things on this, and this criteria. I go to level 1000 plus. I go to level cap doing disruption. Like, there will always be people like that. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, and then Yes comes in and makes the exact point that everyone will make, which is like, non-meta guns are fun. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. It's like, these weapons they trivialize the entire game. Like, they just turn the game into easy mode. That's kind of the whole point of what the tier list is. Like, the top 5 weapons on that list, you just point and shoot. Like, oh yeah, the couple of them are beam weapons. Yeah, they're better suited when enemies are all kind of clumped up together, so they're a little bit worse off overall, but they are just so brainless. Yeah, see, and then Kawaii says my favorite is Vermisplicer. Yeah, Vermisplicer is number 11 on the list for me.
Your enemies
if that says anything. Yeah,
all that you have learned.
But still a meta weapon. Still functions as a meta weapon. Is still insanely strong, very easy to use. But yeah, I mean, like, Acceltra Prime. Why is it a meta weapon? Because it's just a full auto with a pretty decent AoE. And I mean, yeah, it has like a tiny amount of slash. Whatever, fuck off. It has 100%. It has 100% crit chance. That's kind of all you care about. Anyway, keep it moving. But that's my whole point. It's like there's reasons that I play these specific weapons, and the reasons that I play them are because like when you end up in randomized gameplay, like when you're using weapons based on usage, then you're going to end up in situations where you're like, oh, I'm using fucking Nyx, or I'm using Trinity, or I'm using Chroma. And what I really need right now is I need a weapon that's so brokenly easy to use that all I really need is like a double buff. Like, oh my god, Chroma is giving me like what, 1000% armor, and then also Prime Arcane Avenger. So it's just, as long as you have those two, you can use pretty much any weapon and it becomes the most OP weapon in the game. Like Latron and Incarnon, Torid and Incarnon are really strong because they're just like, their stats are fucking broken. But you also have to charge them. And then that will always be the trade-off, especially with the Latron and Incarnon, is like, you better keep an eye on that time clock. Because if you have 3 shots left in the Incarnon, you better have a fun time getting some headshots while there's fucking violence standing in front of you, and then you get the Thrax enemies to spawn in, and then you get a Battlist right next to you who just happens to start doing his spinning wheel of death. Shout out Zach Stefko for following. I almost missed that. What am I missing? Not gonna lie, meta is the only way players ruin every game they touch. Yeah, and that's my whole point, is like, in this game, the reason that the term meta exists is so that you know, it's like, yeah, if you're using this weapon, you're pretty much trivializing the entire game. Like, the whole point is that you distinguish them and you put them on a separate playing field. So you're like, yeah, like, if you use this weapon, you don't really have to think about what you're doing. Like, you can pretty much do anything, like, save for, like, just straight up boss fights. Like, if you're doing the Archon fight, you've got a weird setup. You're not just using, like, a standard... You're going to use the fucking Fenmore or the Burston Incarnon. You're going to use some strange, like, insane DPS, like, some weapon that has this kind of burst damage that just breaks the fucking game. Like, you know, there will be unique situations, but for the most part, like, you can pretty much trivialize, like, all interceptions, any kind of Archon Hunt defense mission, any kind of Archon Hunt interception, like, any Warframe. Like, that's the whole point, is it literally, it's like the separation of weapon and Warframe. Like, you can use, as long as you're using the Acceltra, you can pretty much use whatever other shit you want. You can use a status only impact melee weapon and still play pretty well. Like, the whole point is like, oh, and that's the other thing about why meta exists, is like, if this weapon shows up in the circuit, then it's pretty much GG. Like, if you get a meta, like, if you get a fucking glaive in the circuit, or you get like any kind of meta melee, or like any kind of meta primary, like, it is just GG. You're like, oh, I can do as many rounds in the circuit as I want. And that's the thing, is like, I completely forgot about the circuit, which, like, literally is putting right in front of your eyes, like, oh yeah, if you get this weapon, it's fucking GG's. Like, the entire, like, you got a Riven for these, you got way too many primary weapon Rivens, like, oh, the whole game becomes trivialized. Like, that, like, the circuit was so, like, I was just, bro, like, doing like solo circuit runs was like the best shit ever, because it would just be like, oh, just a classic survival, oh my god, just a void flood, like, even a defense mission. Like, now that most of my builds are like a lot more energy efficient, I just find myself just fucking clearing shit, never needing energy. Of course, it's Mania, the one dude that makes the Acceltra dog shit. Like, he has Turbulence, Zephyr's ability, and I still killed him. Easy cut. But yeah, I mean, look at this. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, the Acceltra is the Trumna, but better and less ammo and less recoil, and you shoot faster. So, you know, you're just spamming it, and it, like, the ammo doesn't even matter, because you're getting, what, half a clip for every bullet. You're getting like a third of a clip maybe from, you know, secondary ammo. Dude, I can't even read chat right now. Oh, it's Trinity. Oh yeah, thank you, chat. So I shouldn't be using Exorgist for Archons. I don't know, like, that's the thing, is like, I can't even tell you what works for Archon. You have to find that out. You have to try it and find out, because, like, my builds will always be funky as fuck. They'll always be weird as hell. Like, I can never, I can rarely endorse people, like, you know, it's like, as a content creator, you're like, oh yeah, use my builds. But then people look at my builds and they're like, what the fuck? What is wrong with this dude? Like, what is Coil Horizon on like 4 different Warframes? What's up with this guy? Like, I'm for the most part, commenters have shown me like people are pretty clear on like, yeah, this dude's got some weird fucking ideas. This dude is like kind of out there, and that's kind of the basic gist of it. Is like, my tier lists are always skewed because I have ribbons for every single one of these weapons. So it's like, yeah, when you have a ribbons for all of them, then you rank all of them differently. But it's like, yeah, the list exists mostly, so it's like, oh shit, I got an Acceltra ribbon. Oh, I guess it's GG's for like the entire game. Like, I can pretty much do whatever I want. Yeah, we fail it. Acceltra's done. We're at 840. I think I might call it. Yeah, Acceltra number 6. No, I think we should show off Tenet, Arca, Plasmor. We'll do one more. We'll do one more, folks. Oh my god, it's good. Usually expensive on Forma, very fun in the end. Yeah, what are we talking about? Yeah, I literally can't get caught up at this point, statistically at least. Well, shout out chat. Chat's just going right now. We got 8 new followers. I think I missed a couple of followers. I gotta look at chat. We'll do one more round just for chat. I mean, you guys have been great. I might at least show off the Torid Incarnon as an example for why it fucks with me to have to constantly switch back and forth in and out of Incarnon form, like especially with the Torid Incarnon. Okay, let's just read some chat. Let's see what chat's been saying. There's Zach, Black Diamond. I got that. What did I miss? Okay, I'm caught up. I got the FWJ. Okay, we're good. We're caught up on that. Let's move down the list. What am I missing? What am I missing? Oh, we just had. I can't see that emote. Somebody followed. Some emote followed. Some emoji followed. Let's see. Yeah, I got that. I wish more creators base tier lists off of weapon utility and how fun they are to play with. Yeah, that's kind of been my idea. Is like, I generally rank weapons in terms of usability, and like the final, like the meta category of a weapon really means that like you can use it with any other weapon, and then for most content you don't really need to think about anything. Like if you're trying to rank up like some random fucking Warframe, it'll be easy. Kick guns are super fun. Love the customization. Shout out yes for saying that. Also, that was True 3 Gaming Minion for saying that. For saying talking about, you know, utility in tier lists. Azap saying, but the Latron and Torid don't need their incarnate forms to kill. Which Warframe is that? Already got that. Already got that. It sounds cool. Only 1 ammo. I don't care. No, I think the Exorcist might do pretty well. I think it's mostly just try it. Just try it. What build do you have on the Acceltra? Reload speed. Is Wisp a good Warframe? Yeah, Wisp is pretty good. Usually they're expensive on Forum, but very fun. Yeah, I feel it. Statistically, ooh, goodness. Have you tried out the meta Occucore build? Yeah, I fucking love the Occucore. The Occucore is such an asshole, though. It's such a fucking shitty build. It's, I think I have pure fire damage on my Occucore. What do you think of the Boar Incarnon? Boar Incarnon is still a meta weapon, but still at the bottom of the list. Wisp with a damage boost ability over her 4th. And a melee contagion build slap. Yeah, I feel it. Could be worse. I have 3 Oberon primes. I need to make Oberon good. I love his kit so much. Yeah, I just put Roar on Oberon. That's it. What's up, fellow Warframer? Shout out Noto. Oh, shout out. Who's that? That's Nate. Oh, Nate with skulls in the middle. That's sick. I'm about to get 6 Zephyr primes. Love it. Play with you. Enjoy it. It's good. Once upon a time, you couldn't buy more and. Oh, more mod config slots. Okay, I see. Those were dark times. I use Onslaught mode to max speedrun Warframes. Onslaught mode? Void Onslaught? Do you think Dante actually needs a nerf, or is he just a solid Warframe? Honestly, dude, if they nerf him, it's not going to matter. Can we all be honest? Like, even if they nerf him, it's not going to fucking... You can't nerf like math. You can't nerf what Dante's abilities. Yeah, they might reduce the damage by a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, Dante is fucking insane. Dante is so good. Like, I played Dante for like literally 1 minute and I was like, God, I love this Warframe. This dude is fucking awesome. And I totally get where they're coming from, where they're like, oh God, he might be way too strong. Dante doesn't need a nerf, but they're reducing his effectiveness. Yeah, like, guys, like, we hear the word nerf and we're all like, oh my god, they're gonna nerf it. It's like, folks, let's be real here. They could nerf him by a lot and he would still be a fucking monster. Like, really, what they should do is nerf his damage and give him more overguard, because you do have to kind of spam that overguard ability if you're in a dangerous situation. But other than that, he just deals like a fucking comical amount, so much damage. Like, it's insane. And he's like perfect for he's like built for disruption. Like, he's just one of the absolute faves of all time. Like, top of the top of the top at this point. And he is hard to get, which is a little bit good. It's kind of what you want in like a insane Warframe. Like, the fact that you can get Kullervo just from doing Deviri, like, it takes a while to get it in Deviri, but that is savage. Like, once I'm done with Fortuna, we're doing Deviri. We're doing a ton of Deviri, but for the most part, I need to be ranking up my master rank shit, so that's the main focus when we do speedrunning the new war. So definitely keep that in mind. I'm going to need to hit Zenuric bubble. But yeah, let's just talk about number 7 on the list, Tenet, Arca, Plasmor. Honestly, folks, I might just do a 2-hour stream, folks. Am I being lazy and doing less than 2 hours? Yes. Should I just do 2 hours? Yes. I think that's the answer, folks. You'll get me for the full 2 hours, all right? We're going to 9. We're gonna have a fun time. It'll be a grand old time. But folks, I mean, are you enjoying it or what? This is what I want. Like, just the most brainless fucking gameplay you've ever seen. Like, this is what it means to be meta, and it's still number 7 on the list. Like, it's fucking comical. This list, it's like ranking Goku against Vegeta. Like, it's like ranking Ultra Instinct Goku against, like, what is Vegeta? Vegeta is Ultra Ego Vegeta. Like, you know, it's like all the strongest forms of all the different Dragon Ball characters. It's like so fucking stupid. Like, ranking the meta weapons is like such a moot point, because it's just like the whole point is like, if you have any of them, like, you should be fine. Like, it's you're not gonna have to worry about anything. Like, there's a reason that the fucking Tenet weapons and the Kuva weapons are so strong. Like, obviously not all Kuva weapons are insanely broken, but there's enough of them that are, that you know which ones you want, and you know which ones, you know which ones you don't want. Oh, shout out Wet Hot, oh my god, Wet Hot Pock 3T for following. What am I missing? I'm missing a couple things, and I'm dead because I was reading chat. I swear it's just because I was reading chat. Shut up. Don't say anything, chat. I swear to God. I was looking for too long. I might have to read chat when I'm out of gameplay, but I should be better about that. But also, I should just be keeping my shit active. Here we go. Too easy. Oh, I love it. I love it. Can I aim properly, folks? Is that just the age-old question in this game? Can I actually line up my shots and properly take advantage of infinite enemy punch through? Like, you're seeing it. It's just absurd. I mean, it's just, the fire rate is insanely slow, but having like a really long duration on Eclipse is really nice, because it means that I don't actually need to be in that black and white bubble. I can just kind of run around, because Blessing always has 75% damage reduction, I believe, at 250% strength. Shout out Lucas Ruth for following. Lucas Ruth, it counts however many slash procs you have instead of just going by each debuff you have inflicted. Oh, I missed something. I'll always be confused by why people calling for nerfs of new frames when Octavia and Revenant exist. But yeah, I think, like, well, Octavia is a funny one. It's funny you bring up Octavia, because recently I've been seeing a lot of Octavias that, like, don't have a lot of survivability mods, and then they just end up getting deleted when something still inadvertently hits them. So I'm the fucking weirdo who has, you know, double Umbra on Octavia, so Octavia has 850 health. And it's just like, I agree. I mean, Octavia is like insanely broken, but I think it's just, I feel like it's just par for the course. Like, invisibility frames, I think there's this weird thing where, because the frame is invisible, people build those frames in a way where they actually end up like shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. And I think Octavia is just a great example of that, where it's like, yeah, it's like you can max out on all your like ability stats, but then in the end you might suffer a little bit in terms of like actual survivability and shit like that. Like, I noticed that like invisibility frames are just really weird like that. That, like, Loki is a great example where Loki is actually fucked. Like, Loki's like, oh god, how do I, like, what happens if I get shot? That's always the question with Loki. It's like, yes, I should never get shot. Yes, I have hushed invisibility, which is now an Exilus mod, which is fucking awesome. The great change. Hushed invisibility is S tier. You're fully invisible, fully silent. Rolling guard goes burr, yeah.
The sentient is onto you.
But I mean, I feel like I've always... The thing I've always said about rolling guard is I feel like if you can roll, you can just roll out of the way. Like, if you can roll, then you should just be able to roll out of the way and avoid the damage all together. Because I don't know what the cooldown... It's like a 10-second cooldown or something. I don't know how long it is, but this guy is going to delete me. I need to actually point my gun at him. Oh, and I'm dead. There you go. There's the battle list. There's what you love. I don't know if there's a place that I can stand that I won't get shot. But I think for the... Oh! Oh, did I just let it burn out? Wait. Wait, what just happened? Was I not at 5 minutes? Oh, shit. Well, there you go, folks. That's the end of the stream, then. That's number 7 on the list. It's like 8 seconds, but it gives you like 3 seconds of immunity and status cleanse. Oh, that's pretty good. I like that. What do you think is the best weapon mod and best Warframe mod in general? I would say probably like... I would say like the galvanized mods on Primary are pretty absurd. They're pretty strong. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I guess, yeah, we might as well do the last one. We might as well do Torid Incarnon. Fuck it, guys. We had a fail on the last one. Whatever. You saw the Tenet Arca Plasmor. You saw that when I was in a circular area, it was way worse, which is something that's a fucking stupid moment on my part. So absolutely keep that in mind. What's the Torid build? I'll show it at the end. Yeah, give me a sec. But yeah, I mean, Torid, fucking monster. I'll show the Riven and the normal build, but yeah, give me 1 sec. This will be the last part of the video.
And you may yet avoid it.
Oh, is he just dead?
Trust
Oh, they're
in
just
your
dead. Okay, great.
training.
I didn't even fully charge the Torid. That's
Neural
fucking
Sentry is
nice.
attempting to
Alright,
purge
come
you
on,
from this
spawn in the
place.
right place, please.
Stand by for
God
life
damn it. Okay. Fully torqued, ready to go. I guess we just stay in this spawn room, right? Because yeah, there's one arena, so both arenas. Yeah, there you go. There's Torid. I guess the Incarnon actually does last longer than the other one. Yeah, I hope that I hope that accurately articulates the power of the Torid. But yeah, here's the gimmick, folks. Now I have to use the normal Torid. Oh wow, the AoE deals too much damage and I'm actually failing to get direct hits. Isn't that wonderful, dude? There's a direct hit. There's a direct hit. The AoE is too good and it's actually hindering my ability to charge the Incarnon. Isn't that a unique one? And we're back in Incarnon form. And look at this. There's a lot of enemies over here. Look at that. There aren't any enemies anymore. Oh my goodness. There are no enemies that are alive. That's an insane build. Wow. Oh my goodness. I'm glad that it's like it still has pretty low or pretty high Riven disposition. Because what it actually means is like you're wasting ammo if you're not killing giant groups of enemies. You're actually just fucking wasting ammo. Come on, get a good hit, you son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. There you go. Here we go. Fully torqued. Ready to go. Yeah, look at this. I mean, but that's the thing is, the going back and forth part is like, oh my god. And it is actually pretty okay on bosses. Because you're shooting the boss in the face. You can still shoot it in the face with the Torid bullet, the normal Torid bullet. And it'll probably... How much fire rate do you have to make it run out that fast? No, I have the upgrade that uses multi-shot, so it just burns through ammo faster. But it increases the damage. Because I don't know, the other two were just like, whatever, they were shit. They were like, oh, if you have a Warframe with more energy, I was like, I'm not fucking using that. I would rather burn through my ammo than have some weird gimmicky one where I'm like, oh, this gun is just worse if I'm not using it with, you know, mag. Like the 3 Warframes that have prime flow on them. I'm just like, oh god, here we go. I mean, it's cool. Like, and then I see all the shit what they're doing where they're like, oh, you can get synergies with cold damage and electricity damage. I'm like, yeah, it seems kind of cool, but whatever, fuck off. The main thing is like, yeah, this is my actual like favorite way to play it for it is to actually just burn through all your ammo instantly. But it just deals so much fucking damage that it just deletes everything. Yeah, it's damage plus 51. for a last shot in mag, +3 multi-shot. Is that the one? Oh, fuck, I died. Is that the other opportunity for last shot? Oh, for last shot in mag. Okay. Yeah, so it's just useless for the Incarnon. Yeah, that's all. That was the reason that I didn't choose it. This is like, what does that mean for the Incarnon? Does that mean like the very last tick is the tick that has 3 multi-shot? Because then I'm like, yeah, whatever, fuck off. I would rather have to be forced to recharge it over and over again than have some weird shit like that. Yeah, that's shit. That's dog shit. I'm okay with recharging it. That makes it less usable, but actually crazy as fuck. But still, you know, it's an Incarnon. It'll always still be an Incarnon, you know. It'll always be, oh, I'm out of Incarnon charges. I have to charge it again. Oh, great. And then with this guy, it's the easiest of all of them. It's very easy, which is nice, but yeah, it's not all Incarnons are this easy. And that'll always be the thing. It's like, oh shit, there is Malice looking me in the face. Oh shit, there's a Battlist looking me in the face. And I have to get headshots with the Latron. Okay, let's do it, folks. Let's have some fun. And it's like, oh yeah, you should just run away. It's like, yeah, I should just run away. That's a great take. Appreciate it. Am I just talking to myself at this point? Yes. It makes its base form deadlier, plus the normal form is better for bosses. Yeah, whatever. I mean, at this point, it is just absurd. Yeah, but the last shot in the mag, whatever. With 12 shots. I mean, for the most part, I don't think anything survives like 3 shots with the base form. Because it's like, it's damage over time. So it's viral damage over time, plus Hunter Munitions status being procced over time. So it's kind of exactly what you want. Like, overall, I would say, fuck it, man. Burn through the ammo faster. Because then it's not really about how much ammo it burns through. It's about how fast you can move. And when are you actually using the gun? Like, are you actually using it at the right times? Or are you wasting ammo because there aren't enough enemies to actually take advantage of all the just damage output that this thing does? Because, like, you're seeing it. Like, part of the trade-off is, like, this thing just deals so much damage. Like, when you have that ability that drastically reduces your magazine capacity, it has the trade-off of also, oh god, fuck this one.
They know you're here. Prepare for sentient fighters.
Okay, give me 1 sec. I need to kill all these enemies. Yeah, he has no one to look for. I do need to hit this guy real quick. Okay, need to do this. I'm gonna die. Let's hit this. And there we go. Let's see if I can kill this Battlist real quick with the normal fire. Yeah, that was 1 bullet with the normal fire, so not too crazy. He should be dead. Yeah, we're good. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed. I think it's good to show off the Torid Incarnon because you're kind of seeing it. Like, to just be forced to go back and forth, it does piss me off more than anything. It is, like, not that bad. But if you've learned anything from this video, it's that the meta category is all about making shit easy on this guy. Making it simple. I don't want to think. I don't want to do too much processing power. And of course, yeah, you're seeing it. Let's see if I even use all 12 shots. Oh, that's a good shot. I don't want to die right here. And I also want to keep Eclipse active. Am I bad at this game, folks? Leave it in the comments if you think I'm bad at this game. I mean, I don't need to tell you to do that. You guys will do that anyway. But yeah, we're out of here, folks. It's fun. It's fun. That's what I'll say. Is it's like, in the end, the rankings of the meta weapons don't really matter. Because it's like, the only thing that matters is that it has the meta tag. That it exists in a state where it's like, yeah, if you use this weapon, you should be fine. You pretty much don't need to worry about anything. I don't know. I don't use that one. I don't struggle. It still melts high levels.
You strike to win.
It makes the base form. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is it's just like, oh, I don't give a fuck about that ability. That ability is not valuable to me. So I'll use one that does make the gun a little bit worse, but it also just turns it into this goofy fucking monster where you just laser something for 1 second and it dies. Yeah, I'll show the build for the melee as well. For the Falcor. But that's what I'm talking about. It's like me and Azap are going back and forth, but it's like we're both proving our points that it doesn't fucking matter. You choose whatever you want and it's totally fine. Like, you can literally play this game however you want and it doesn't fucking matter. It's like way too easy. Anyway, Torid build. Yes, here's the one. A multi-shot consumes ammo directly from capacity and increases damage by 60%. So if I have a 3.6 multi-shot, I'm burning through ammo 4 times as fast. So every bullet is shooting 3.6 bullets. Of course, magazine capacity fire as fuck. And of course, crit chance up by 20%. I think you can get reload speed. So what you could do is do the one that Azep's talking about, do the reload speed buff, reload faster, and then you're actually taking advantage of the multi-shot better. But it's like, yeah, whatever, fuck off. I'm just not going to do that. Anyway, that's the stats. We've got 2 builds to show off. Pretty fucking standard. 87% crit chance on a literal gas cloud that deals only viral damage is fucking insane. Hunter Munitions obviously goes wild on that shit. You know, part of it is I have a Riven that is absurd, but yeah, you're still 834 on the damage. You know, you get the 2.4 times multi-shots. That's pretty good. What's that on her head? That's a Corona or a Signet, I think it's called. It's like a crown that you can get. Anyway, let's talk about the Riven. Of course, multi-shot damage is a fucking savage ass Riven. That's how I get the damage. I mean, that's part of it is like I could also slow this down. Like I've thought about slowing this down as well, because that would actually help it out a lot. It just deals so much fucking damage that you do this, boop, 105% damage, 147% crit chance, and then you're burning through ammo a little bit slower, and you could slow it down even further. You could slow it down on both, and there you go. Higher stats overall. And that's the thing, it's like it deals so much damage that 1 tick will kill anything. So there you go, folks. Hope you enjoyed. It's 9 o'clock exactly, so I'm out of here. How do you get more arcane, though, so I can level them up? Eidolons, or you can get to the Cavia, and then you can farm it that way. But yeah, that's all I got for you, folks. I want to say huge shout out to everybody on YouTube. We had people watching pretty much the whole time. That's awesome. 26 total views and 10 minutes of average view duration. So shout out everybody on YouTube who's still watching. Shout out TikTok. We'll also talk. We had 300 total views, 141 comments, and 11 new followers. That is awesome. With 1,900 likes. Huge shout out to everybody on TikTok and YouTube. This is a great stream. I really appreciate it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed. As always, if you did enjoy, and you're on TikTok, you know, if you want to see more of me, if you want to see any of my past content, that's all over on my YouTube channel. There's a little button in my profile if you go over to my TikTok for that. If you're here on YouTube, right at the end, and you enjoyed, obviously hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you enjoyed. And yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. It was a great tier list. It was nice and fun. We got through 8 weapons, so we got to try out a couple really fun weapons. So hope you enjoyed. That's pretty much all I got for you, YouTube. I'll close out YouTube real quick, and then I'll say goodbye to TikTok. So take care, folks.